Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone. Good to have you with us today. Author and motivational speaker Dolores Presley is here to talk about her new book. It is entitled Empower: Women's Stories of Breakthrough and Triumph. And later we will hear from Cleveland City Councilwoman Mamie Mitchell and Call and Post reporter Rhonda Crowder. They'll tell us about the 150th celebration of Juneteenth, which is taking place in Cleveland on June the 22nd. And later in the broadcast after that, Krista Jordan and Stacey Banks Houston will talk about an event to raise funds for cancer research. Good morning. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin with a good friend, Dolores Presley, motivational speaker, author, woman about town.
Oh, yeah.
Good to have you with us.
Good morning. I'm
Dolores Presley. Oh, good to have you. Good to have you with us. Dolores has been with us several times, and now you've come about. I know you do a lot of motivational speaking, that kind of thing.
I do. I like to say I'm an inspirational speaker,
Yeah.
because I think people really have to motivate themselves. I can say something, or when you're talking, you can say something to inspire people, to try to get them to motivate themselves, and that's what I do. I just love speaking to groups of people, doing something, making them move and call to action, do something. So many people just, talk.
Some people don't realize that all of that they need is all inside of them.
It is, Leon. It is inside of you. I really think about the mindset, and I was talking the other day about how circus trainers can train fleas, and fleas will flip over, and the circus trainer can do all this. But how do they do that? Is because when the fleas are flying up, they put a lid on the box.
Yeah.
And so they just keep bumping their heads. And so that happens to a lot of people. I ask people, like, what's your lid? What's keeping you inside the box? What's keeping you from flying?
So we got to really stretch ourselves a little bit.
We have to stretch ourselves, and it's all about the mindset, the thinking, changing the way you think.
And some of that, I'll bet, is inside your new book called Empower: Women's Stories of Breakthrough, of Discovery, and Triumph. Tell me about this book.
I am so excited. I write in there about you are good enough. There are so many people who don't think that they're good enough. There are even people who deal with what we call the imposter syndrome. It's a syndrome where people are, maybe they're the president of the bank and they don't have a degree, and they're like always worried about if someone will find out I'm the president and I'm the president and I don't have a degree. And people are always feeling like they are not good enough. I suffered from that, because when I wanted to be a model, they were like, no way, I wanted to be a ballerina. They told my mother I was too fat. When I wanted to go to college, they told me I couldn't go to college. Well, of course I did, and I did all those things. A model, and I'm a big girl, and I was bigger than I am now. They were like, you can't be a model.
But you are.
I am. I could say I was,
Yeah,
but yes, I did. And our models were in Essence and Ebony and Marie Claire and Glamour. And I don't say that to brag. I just say that no matter what your background is, no matter what it is that you want to do in life, you can make it happen.
Talk about some of the ways that women can relate to the stories about empowerment, which are reflected in your new book, Empowerment.
Yes, there are so many stories. For example, Beth Caldwell, she shares a story about being divorced and getting divorced after about 6 months. She had been married for 6 months. She didn't even really give it a try, but I think it was an abusive situation. I share all about how I wanted to do all these things and never was allowed to do that. A doctor, she shares a story about she was a medical doctor, but yet she wanted to be a writer. And so she decided to be a writer. So this story is just about empowerment, of doing what you want to do.
And as you said, some of your life is in this book.
Oh, without a doubt. My life is in that book, and I'm so glad that I went through all those things, because I don't think I'd be the woman who I am today.
You and I were just chatting just a little bit. You are all over the country, motivational speaking for corporations and companies as well. In demand.
In demand. I was just in San Juan, Puerto Rico for Kirby Vacuum.
They brought you down there to speak.
To speak. It's just amazing. I got paid. All my expenses taken care of.
Now you've got everybody's attention out there saying, well,
like,
maybe I can be empowered like that as well.
That's the truth. And people want to be speakers. I help with that. And if anyone wants a coaching, I work with them on that. I'm all about people living the life that they desire. What life you desire, you can live it.
Let's put a website on the screen where you can get more information about what we're talking about. You can go to The Up Woman, that's UP, theupwoman.com. More information on everything we're talking about, or you can make a phone call to 330-649-9809. Where is the book available?
They can get it at Amazon or on my website, theupwoman.com.
You just go there, and there it is, and it's called
There it
Empowerment, Women's Stories of Breakthrough, Discovery, and Triumph.
And I'm having a book signing June 29th in Canton, Ohio at the La Quinta Inn. They call us, they can get the book there, and we're having a Up Woman Connector, all about connecting up.
If there was one thing that you would want to leave people with, I guess men can read the book too, of course, and get something out of it, and get a great deal out of it. But what's the thought you want to really leave people with that encompasses everything in your book called Empowerment?
There is an African proverb that says, "It's not what you call me, it's what I answer to." So I say, never allow anyone to determine your self-worth. You have the power to live the life you desire. You're empowered, and you can make it happen.
And youngsters can get something out of this too, or teenagers who are able to understand the language in here. They can get a great deal out of this.
Everyone can. It's something in there for everyone, because I think everyone has dreams, Leon.
When did you decide you wanted to do what you do?
You know, I think when they robbed me of being a ballerina at about age 8, I decided that no one else was going to rob me of what I wanted to do. And from that point on, when I wanted to do something, no matter what the naysayers said, I did it. And
you have found happiness.
I love it. Can you tell?
I can tell. I can tell. Dolores Presley, motivational speaker, author, and just a wonderful person, just an inspirational person. I feel better already just talking to this lady. Empower is the name of the book, Women's Stories of Breakthrough, Discovery, and Triumph, and you can find it at Amazon and where else?
And on our website,
on your website,
theupwoman.com.
Theupwoman.com, as you see at the bottom of the screen, or you can make a telephone to 330-649-9809. Get more information on everything that Dolores Presley is doing. I'm going to stay with you because you have got it going.
I want to be with you too, Leon, so let's make it happen.
We're going to make it happen. Okay. Thank you very much, Dolores Presley.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the broadcast. Coming up next, we'll hear how Cleveland will celebrate the 150th anniversary of Juneteenth. You don't know what Juneteenth is? You'll find out in just a moment. It's quite a story, too, after this. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. Good to have you with us. The Call and Post newspaper is hosting the 150th anniversary celebration of Juneteenth on June the 22nd. Cleveland City Councilwoman Mamie Mitchell is here, and Call and Post reporter Rhonda Crowder is here as well to explain what Clevelanders can expect in this event. Mamie Mitchell sitting on the right and Rhonda Crowder seated on the left. Good to have you both with us.
Thanks. It's our pleasure.
Talk about the significance, Mamie. What is Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is the celebration of what happened in Galveston, Texas in 1865 when General Granger arrived at Galveston and told all of the persons that were enslaved that they were free. Now, what happened is that basically in 1863 there was the Emancipation Proclamation that President Lincoln put forth. So some of the, but this was just to free the slave and rebellious states. And in 1865, in January, the proclamation with the 13th Amendment was finally passed. So we have 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation, the 1865 13th Amendment, which actually freed slaves in all the rebellious states also. And in 1865, the people in Texas had not heard of it.
They had not heard,
and they heard that they were free.
That these former slaves, you are now free.
And that was such a momentous occasion that.
So it's called Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. It was June 19th. They cut it short to Juneteenth. That became known throughout the U.S. as Juneteenth celebration, and it is still here today. So it is a tradition also.
Celebrated in many parts. Will be celebrated here in the greater Cleveland area. The Call and Post very much involved. Rhonda Crowder, a reporter for the Call and Post. Tell us about what's going to happen with the Call and Post celebration of Juneteenth.
Well, this is also the 97th anniversary of the Call and Post newspaper. So to commemorate all these anniversaries, we thought it was a great idea to have a Juneteenth celebration this year, our inaugural Juneteenth celebration. And we're so thankful that Councilwoman Mamie Mitchell decided to come on board and partner with us. We're also partnered with university hospitals and Key Bank and WZAK. And we're going to have a big street party.
Street party?
It's a street party, a block party, old-fashioned block party. There's going to be live entertainment. art from all genres of music, R&B artist Stacy Crawford, jazz vocalist Dr. E, Vince Roberts and the Jazz Poets. There's going to be a bounce house with face painting for the children, card playing. There's going to be some health screenings. You know,
You just got everything.
We
going.
have everything.
Everything going, and
Yes.
it's going to be, as my notes tell me, on Williams Avenue, which is east 116th Street and Shaker Boulevard.
Correct.
In other words, right behind the Call and Post building.
Yes.
Which is on Shaker Boulevard between East 116th Street and Shaker Square.
Yes.
in
East
City Creek.
121.
Yeah,
East
right in that
121,
area.
right in that particular
it'll be the
area.
biggest celebration you see going on.
Yes.
With thousands of people there. Certainly it's going to be a big, big thing. Why do you think this is important to celebrate this?
I think it's important to celebrate. First of all, it teaches a lesson. It's bringing history to some of us who have never had this history lesson before, and it also promotes the neighborhoods and people coming together to have a good time peacefully. And we do need peaceful celebrations, and we need where persons can just feel free and enjoy themselves. There'll be something for everyone. They'll be safe. There's also a safety fair that should be going on. I think it's our 4th District Safety Fair that should be going on at the same time as the Juneteenth. So it'll be a very safe affair. It'll be neighborhood friendly. And Call and Post is a great newspaper.
Right there in your community.
Right in Ward 6.
And right in Ward 6.
Right.
Cleveland Councilwoman Mamie Mitchell, the Councilwoman from Ward 6. This is vital to keeping the community together, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Talk a little bit about that, why you see this as vital, and the role that the Call and Post has long played for these 97 years.
Well, I think it's important that we get back to community. There's a lot going on in our neighborhoods. And the Call and Post is important because it brings news from the community to the people. So it allows the people to know what's going on. So we wouldn't have a situation like Juneteenth.
Right. Call and Post certainly has long been one of the voices of the black community of the greater Cleveland area. And I will tell you that I am really proud to be an alumnus of the Call and Post. When I was 20 years old, still in college, I interned at the Call and Post, and it really helped me get my start to see my name in print there and my photographs in print right there at the Call and Post. So it is vital. You expect this to be a great day on June the 22nd. Starts at 11 o'clock in the morning and goes until...
Till 6 or 7 in the evening.
On into the evening.
Yes.
Until ain't no more party to have. It's just going to keep on going.
Yes.
They just
We'll
have
be
to go
dancing in
home
the
at a
street.
certain hour.
June the 22nd. What day of the week is that, by the way?
That's a Saturday.
That's a Saturday. June
Right.
22nd starts at 11 o'clock on Williams Avenue off East 116th and Shaker Boulevard.
Right.
If you can find the Call and Post building, big letters on the out front says Call and Post. You know you're there. And right behind that is where the big celebration is going to
Take
go.
place.
Well, good to have you both on the broadcast. Thank
Thanks
you so
for
much.
having
Thank
us.
you.
Yeah.
I
Tell
appreciate
everybody at City Council we said hello.
I will.
And tell everybody at the
deliver
Call
that.
and Post
I
we said
sure
hello.
will. Thank
Two
you.
great places that keep us right on doing what we need
Thank
to do
you.
here in the greater
We
Cleveland area.
appreciate it.
Just hold your position right there. I'm going to say goodbye and just some other things right here. But good to have you with us. Mamie Mitchell and Rhonda Crowder. Thank you so much. Taking a break right now. In a moment, we'll come back. We're going to talk about raising money for cancer research. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope. Back shortly. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. Krista Jordan heads Flight for Cure. She, along with her venture coach, Stacey Banks Houston, are both here this morning to explain how Flight for Cure is helping raise funds for cancer research. Krista Jordan, CEO of Flight for Cure, seated on the right, and Stacey Banks Houston, seated on the left. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Krista, what is Flight for Cure?
Flight for the Cure is basically a handmade scarf and bracelet line made by myself and volunteers of family and friends. And part of my profit goes to University Hospital's Cancer Research Center.
When did you get the idea to do this?
Oh, when did I have the idea? Probably over a year ago. And I said something to my mom, and I got all these ideas, and it started with a bracelet first. And my mom goes, well, yeah, maybe. And then when I started thinking more into it, it just became my dream, and it became real now.
Let me say, this is a CEO at the age of 19 who's just getting started in college at Kent State University. Now, we're going to come back to that, and we're going to take a look at the bracelet and the scarf in just a moment. Stacey Banks Houston, let's bring you into the conversation here. You're a venture advisor at Kent State University. Now,
Yes.
what's that mean?
Yes, the Kent State University has a program called the Blackstone Launchpad, which was birthed out of the University of Miami, developed in the University of Miami. And the Burton D. Morgan Foundation, along with the Blackstone Charitable Foundation, sponsors the Blackstone Launchpad at Kent State, along with 3 other universities, Baldwin-Wallace, Case, and Lorraine Community College. And so any student, faculty, staff, or alumni that's affiliated with any of those colleges or universities can come in, share their ideas. It's a free service, confidential, and they'll be assigned a venture advisor, and they walk them through the steps of starting their business.
How's she doing?
Wonderful, wonderful.
She's going to be quite the
Yes.
businesswoman, and raising money for cancer research.
Yes.
Now, tell me about what it is that you raise money with. You mentioned the bracelet and you mentioned the scarf. Now, I
Yes,
assume the
so
scarf
each of my products that's sold, part of the profit from that goes to UH for cancer research.
I'm wondering, is this one of the bracelets? Maybe
Yes.
we can get a shot of this on one of our cameras. Our floor director will tell me which camera we're on this. You hold that right there.
Okay.
And they'll get a shot on that somewhere. You're raising money for cancer research with which hospital now?
University hospitals.
Yeah. And how did you get involved with that cancer research?
With university hospitals, I went through person to find the right person. I work with Chris Sedlock. He's on the donations group, and I met with him, and ever since then things have become kind of surreal.
How can people find your scarves and your handmade bracelets now?
I have a website, and you can order any scarf or bracelet, and you choose the color, which is the best part, I think, because you get to customize it to you. And you order there, and it should be there in the next few weeks.
And the money goes to Flight for the Cure.
Yes.
Yeah. Flight, and there's a website on the bottom of the screen. Flight number 4 thecure.com. You see it written at the bottom of the screen there. What is it that you're studying at Kent State University now?
I am going to be double majoring here in the fall, so entrepreneurship and fashion merchandising are what I'll be studying.
So you're kind of putting the two together already.
Yes, I'm already putting the two together.
Stacey, this is what it's all about, isn't it? Starting
Absolutely.
out early. She's got a dream. She's making it work.
Yes, yes, fostering entrepreneurship around the region. And Krista didn't share the story of how she came up with the wings, but I think it's a phenomenal story.
Tell me about that.
So my father passed when I was young from leukemia, and I always called him my guardian angel. So the angel wing comes from him, and he's kind of been my motivating force in this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could see it right here.
And the angel wing is right hooked to your scarf right
Yes.
there. We can get a shot of that too, I'm certain. And your dad, so your dad is very much still with you.
Yes.
In these angel wings. That's all part of it. So there's a very inspirational story behind all of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Stacey, speak to that a little bit, how we can take those things that are inspirational for us and run the ball with that.
Right. Well, it really starts with, she has a phenomenal story, and like she said, her dad is her angel. And we talked, before, Leon, about your passion and how you take what's passionate to you and turn it into a profitable business. So, and that's
Which she has done.
Which
and
she
at
has
the same
done.
time raising money to fight cancer.
Yes.
In memory and in honor of your father's memory.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the broadcast.
Thank
Krista
you.
Jordan, 19 years old, huh? Just getting started at Kent State University and already on television talking about your business and your goals and, of course, your passion.
Yes.
And fighting cancer at the same time. Quite a story, isn't it, Stacey?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the Blackstone Launchpad at Kent State University?
Kent State University?
Does this kind of thing?
Yes, yes. We have been there since September of last year, and you can look us up at kenttelaunchpad.org. or visit any of the launch pads, like I said, at Baldwin Wallace, Case, Lorraine Community College.
Okay, well, good. And you can go to Flight for the Cure, as you see it at the bottom of the screen.com, get more information on everything we're talking about, and buy a wonderful product for a good cause. Thank you so much. Krista Jordan, Stacey Banks Houston, I appreciate you being on the broadcast. Taking a break, be back in just a moment. Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League. Time for the Morning Exchange segment of our broadcast, and always good to have Marsha Maccabee here for the Morning Exchange segment. Hey, Marsha of the Urban League.
Hey, Leon, how you doing?
I'm okay, I'm okay.
Good, good, good. We have lots of exciting things to share this morning.
All the time.
Okay, and one of them involves you.
Well, maybe I won the lottery.
Yeah, well, you know,
Not
hey,
yet.
not yet, but close, but close. We're excited to share with our audience today that on Saturday, June 22nd, at 7 o'clock in the evening, we're going to have a wonderful celebration with our members and our Urban League Guild. And we're going to do something very special in this community. We're going to celebrate men of distinction. And our own Leon Bibb is going to be honored at that event.
Well, how nice.
Yeah.
Nice of you to even think of me in those
absolutely,
terms.
absolutely. We couldn't honor a group of men without including you, especially in this first class. It's very important. But in addition to you, Leon, from the TV media arena, we also will have other people honored. And among those are going to be Michael Taylor from PNC.
Right.
And we're going to have Coach Ted Ginn, who represents education, and Dr. Charles Modlin from the healthcare area.
I know him too.
Mark Ribbons from also the media, but from the radio side. And Bashir Jones, who is our up-and-coming kind of man of distinction.
And
so.
he's quite a young man.
Oh,
too.
he is.
Quite
Indeed,
I've interviewed him many times.
Yes, very fine young man.
So where's this going to be on June the 22nd?
This is going to be at John Carroll University at the Dolan Center, starting at 7 o'clock. And we're going to have a great time inviting our members out that evening for a special celebration, as well as our Urban League Guild will be there to help us to celebrate.
All of this sponsored by the Urban League of Greater Cleveland?
Sponsored by the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, and also the Wave, and of course John Carroll.
Okay. June the 22nd.
Correct.
Saturday evening, 7 o'clock, the Dolan Center,
Yes.
John Carroll University.
Yes.
See you there.
See you there.
Okay, that's going to do it. Be well, everybody.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.